Good afternoon. That is loud. The Memphis Landmarks Commission is hereby called to order for its regularly scheduled meeting of July 24th, 2025. My name is Cindy Tucker. I'm the chairman of this commission. Mr. Brett Ragsdale serves as the executive secretary of the commission. Mr. Ragsdale, may I get a roll call?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Boyd?
Present.
Mr. Gill? Here. Ms. Rainwater?
Here.
Ms. Tolbert?
Here.
Mr. Winter?
Here.
Vice Chair Doss? Chair Tucker?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The Memphis Landmarks Commission and the local historic district provisions are established to ensure preservation of structures that are of historic value to Memphis. Our function is to preserve significant resources, enhance community pride, and foster civic beauty and ensure compatibility within designated historic districts. The Commission is authorized to review projects and determine their appropriateness based on the design review guidelines. At this time, I would like to swear the staff in. Can remain seated. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. May I get a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
So moved.
Second, please. Second. Thank you. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Mr. Secretary, please provide us a secretary's report if there is one for this last month, and then explain the procedure of this meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have a secretary's report, so I'll go into the procedure. I will introduce each case as listed on the agenda. Copies of the agenda are found on the right podium. For each case, staff with the Division of Planning and Development will give a presentation. At the conclusion of the staff presentation, the applicant will have 5 minutes to present his or her case. After the applicant's presentation, the Commission will hear first from those speakers in support of the application, then from those speakers in opposition to the application, and the speakers will have 3 minutes each, and then finally the applicant will have 3 minutes to provide rebuttal. These times do not include time for questions from and answers to members of the Commission. The chair may provide additional time provided both sides are given an equal amount of additional time. All parties who wish to provide testimony to the Commission will be sworn in by the chair. If a member of the audience wishes to provide testimony in support of or in opposition to a particular case on today's agenda, he or she will need to fill out a speaker's card for the record. Speaker's cards are available at the front podium. Once filled out, speaker's cards can be submitted to any DPD planner at the left podium. We do not need speaker's cards from the applicants since their names are already part of the record. After all parties have been heard, the Commission will close the public hearing, make a motion, and then deliberate on the case. All motions by this Commission will be made in the affirmative. The bylaws governing the Commission require the affirmative vote of a majority of the attending members to approve an application. The Commission may also vote to hold an application for a period of 1 month. Madam Chair, I submit that all cases have been filled in proper order. All applicants have been notified of this hearing, and all notice requirements have been fulfilled.
Okay, thank you. At this point, the Commission will establish a consent agenda. To establish the consent agenda, the Secretary will call out each eligible case. If any member of the audience or the Commission objects to a case being placed on the consent agenda, he or she should do so by showing a show of hands when the Secretary reads the case. Once the consent agenda is established, the Commission will vote on all cases placed on the agenda as a whole and will not hold individual public hearings on each. Mr. Secretary, which items on our agenda are eligible?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to note that item number 4 has been withdrawn and item number 7 will be held for 1 month. And so the consent agenda items are as follows. Item number 2, COA 2025-059, 1651 Waverly Avenue in the Glenview Historic District. Item number 3, COA 2025-060, 1800 Brown Avenue in the Ballantine Evergreen Historic District. Item number 5, COA 2025-063, 1192 Melrose Street in the Glenview Historic District. Item number 6, COA 2025-064, 945 South McLean Boulevard in the Roselle-Ansdale Historic District. Item number 8, COA 2025-066, 952 Seattle Street in the Roselle-Ansdale Historic District. Item number 9, COA 2025-068, 1534 Waverly Avenue in the Glenview Historic District. Item number 10, COA 2025-069, 917 Seattle Street in the Roselle-Ansdale Historic District. And item number 11, COA 2025-070, 947 Seattle Street in the Roselle-Ansdale Historic District.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as established by the secretary?
So moved.
May I have a second? Second. Thank you. I would like to remind the commission that by voting on the consent agenda, he or she affirms that he or she has read the staff report and is in full agreement with the conditions. Mr. Secretary, may I get a roll call?
Ms. Boyd? Mr. Gill?
Yes.
Ms. Rainwater?
Yes.
Ms. Tolbert?
Yes.
Mr. Winter?
Yes.
Vice Chair Doss?
Yes.
And Chair Tucker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. If you are here for any of the cases just listed on the consent agenda, you have been approved. You do not need to remain at the meeting, but are welcome to stay for the remainder of the cases if you'd like. At this point, I would like to state that the minor COA applications as listed on the agenda have been reviewed and approved by the commission. The commission will now continue with the regular hearing of the major COA applications as listed on the agenda. Mr. Secretary, please call the first case of the regular agenda.
Item number 1, COA 2025-039, 309 North McLean Boulevard in the Evergreen Historic District.
Is this applicant present? Okay, could you come to the podium, please? Thank you. Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth? And I'm all flustered today. What am I thinking of? Oh, yeah. Well, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I'm sorry. Could you state your name and address?
Ian Hunter, 490 Garland.
Did you get? Is that your name and address?
Yes.
Okay. Could y'all understand? No.
Okay. Could you repeat the name?
Ian Hunter, 490 Garland Street.
Okay. Thank you. We have one in opposition, so we're going to go directly to the staff presentation. So we're going to look at the staff presentation first, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Okay, you can stay there if you want to.
Good afternoon. I'm Chloe Christian. I'll be presenting this case, COA 2025-039. This is a request for a circular driveway at 309 North McLean Boulevard in Evergreen Historic District. There was a companion BOA variance case to allow the driveway that was approved last month with conditions. This is the site plan that was prepared by the applicant. As you can see, there is this sort of excess pavement parking spot bump out that upon review, we did decide was not appropriate for the district. So ultimately, our recommendation is approval with some conditions. One of those conditions would be that this space would go away. And the applicant did prepare a site plan that shows the removal of this space. So in regards to the Evergreen design guidelines, I'm not sure if these are actually the correct ones on the screen, but they are available in the staff report. Ultimately, it just requires that any additional driveway or pavement is appropriate to the context of the surrounding area. And there are some examples of approved circular driveways on North McLean Boulevard. And so with the removal of that parking space bump out, this circular driveway would not be out of character for the area, especially considering that North McLean is a pretty busy street. A circular driveway would also allow for vehicles to enter and exit in a forward motion and would be a safer alternative. So we have recommended approval with conditions, and the conditions are available on the screen. And with that, I'm here for questions. Thank you.
Okay, does commissioners have questions for staff? Okay, thank you. Are you in agreement with these conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do y'all have any questions for the presenter? Okay. Then right now we have one person is Morgan Lupton. Okay, you could sit down for a second.
Okay.
Okay, could you state your name and address, please?
Of course. My name is Morgan Lupton, 316 Watkins Street, 38104.
Okay. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
No, okay.
5 or 3? Isn't it 3?
I was thinking it was 10 for the entirety, but I'll go as fast as I can.
Huh?
Maybe that's for the previous meetings on Wednesdays for 10 minutes of opposition. And maybe.
Yeah, they're slightly different. The Board of Adjustment has a total of 10 minutes for all speakers. The Landmarks Commission has 3 minutes for each speaker.
Okay, so if that's the case,
How long?
Should I just run?
How long is your presentation?
40 slides. Okay, so if we do the one at the bottom and kick it off, there's going to be 2 videos, and just to be clear, and for anybody that's listening at home, this is 2 separate boards, right? So I may be talking about something else, but I believe that they're working hand in hand. I mean, I can advance through any of the videos, and I can speak as fast as I need to, and I can keep track. I mean, it's pictures, but I'm okay. Fire away. Okay, so I want to talk about this location and how it is and impacts me. I know various people that live on North McLean. Most of them are not able to be here. Some of them are older. Some of them have kids. There's been a majority of comments that I believe that may be missing the context whenever you have these staff reports that go out. So I want to kind of highlight some of these ideas that are in opposition against this. So as you see here from last month, there was it was approved to essentially allow for the driveway, but with additional constraints on short-term rental and stuff like that. I just want to catch up everybody across that. Next slide. I'm going to skip this one, but this is the agreement that short-term rental is not to be allowed. That's fine. Next slide. So about that, that was a month ago. Since then, the primary house is still being listed against the agreements that was verbally agreed upon. And we'll see kind of what's happened since. As you can see, just for a typical August month, per night, they're about $222, $432, and $751 across the board. Next slide. So about that, I think that there's a better way of understanding these applications because at the end of the day, this is not a home. This is a business application, essentially, in my opinion. I know that may differ from Board of Adjustments or Landmarks approach, but I think that we can understand the needs and capabilities of their request if we instead use their postings instead of their applications. I think that really shows what we expect as a neighborhood to see from this coming up. Next slide. So first one that I want to say is that what would the Airbnb hosts offer? Now, obviously, they have the ability for the back house to have generous parking area. Now, why are we talking about this? The idea is to increase the amount of parking on this property, on a very large property in terms of depth on North McLean. So if we see that they are advertising this as generous parking, we should believe that what additional parking is necessary and is undue to them. Next slide. So, of course, you take their pictures because they want to be able to be proud of what they are offering and how they can differentiate themselves. You notice that they have gated parking. That's parking that goes through their porte cochere, sorry for French, or whatever German word it is. But essentially, to further qualify the parking options, the tenants basically see that this will be where they can park. You can see most likely an entryway to the gate, and that little black stem. Next slide. And so in some of the listings, right, of their city applications to the boards here, they say that they need to have parking in the front due to issues with their porte cochere. This is how they market it, right? This is gated parking. They encourage people to come to their place and go through this narrow area that they say is too narrow for cars to go through, as basically an amenity. Obviously, I would like to go to an Airbnb that has gated parking, so I'm surprised that if this was a concern, that on their Airbnb postings, they would basically include this as an amenity. Next slide. So the concern about needing to have a turnaround on their property to correspond with 285 North McLean and 311 North McLean, which is adjoining to it, is with the idea that other places nearby have turnaround parking. Well, you can see that there's a bunch of gravel, a bunch of gravel that has been put in the back. If I was going to be marketing this as a lush garden in the backyard and have dandelions, if you believe that weeds are flowers, or if you have azaleas, if you are more traditionally a southern gardener, then having a backyard that is purely gravel is interesting, but it allows for the amount of parking that they expect and need to have based off of their marketing of the house. Next slide. Well, and then you may have seen this one before. Now, it's always nice to add a upper deck to a ADU. It adds value to it. It adds value to your place, along with a hot tub that is heavy and a lot of people. I hope that is upstairs safe. That is not my decision as an engineer. I'm not an engineer, but I'm just showing that this is the amount of parking as you can come around. And if you are safe, you may be able to park small cars, Fiats, etc., underneath the deck. Next slide. So if I'm in the back, right, and I'm concerned because the front is also being marketed, the front house, the principal house is being marketed as an Airbnb. Am I going to be treated fairly? And they say, of course. Yeah, the parking area in the back is shared with the back house. So people in the front know that they're going to share in the back and whatever, right? That's cool. So I would go to it as a tenant. So we've now understood both the motivation of the host to provide amenities, and then from a tenant's point of view, you know, the idea to park your large cars or multiple cars in the back of this property. Next slide. So this is where it gets fun, and this is where I appreciate those that are in this business, seeing how data disappears. And this is what happens when these types of agreements, they go through, right? But it's not just the agreements, it's not just the changes, it's that when I want to see the city application, and by that I mean the COA or the landmarks, what house am I thinking of? It's not the house on the left, it's the house on the right, okay? Why? Why do we see that? Next slide. So what's happened is that there's this idea that if you blur your house on Google Street View, which is heavily used by these boards as a way of validating previous historical character after historical character, you notice that you can simply just request anonymously, essentially, to Google to remove that house, and now your house is blurred. Now, if you go back one slide, it says only February 2022 is available. Now,
Sir,
yep.
could you tell me how many more you have after this? Because you're almost on 8 minutes now. We've been
Okay.
generous.
Okay, then I will continue through real
You
fast.
might want to just go on through.
Okay, yep, understood. Next slide. Okay, so by blurring the homes, every single home right here from 285 to 343, those homes are no longer able to be viewed. Next slide. What does that mean? This is a video, which I guess I will skip, but if you hit the next slide, here's every single street view for approximately 1/10 of a mile or maybe 1.15 of a mile that any future home on either the west or the east side of North McLean will no longer be able to be validated of what was the character before, what was it after. You have to now have ongoing photos to ensure this, or next slide, you have to rely on national historical ideas back from the 60s. Not perfect, the pictures are missing, but maybe we can do something else. Next slide. Uses stop work photos, that's all we got, right? We got lucky. Next slide. What if I found one? And I found one from a major technology company that shows what the house looks like. Now, if this, as I list here, if this image is blurred, then now we know that this homeowner is ensuring that their changes can go through and be lost in the sands of time. Next. Now, applications will be compared to previous use. Next slide, and I'm just gonna go straight through these. It's about not enough parking, there's damages. They have concerns about people driving through their back porte cochere doing damage. They have someone in a large truck accidentally damage their bricks. They don't know who it was. That makes sense if you're marketing your house instead of a apartment unit, instead as a Airbnb unit. Next slide. Maybe they submit the idea that their driveway is graded the wrong way, and they get away saying that they need to have more concrete in their front yard to ensure that there's not water problems with their foundation. I don't know. These are within a few inches on the same page.
Sir, we need to, you're going on. We've been very generous. You need to wrap up now.
Understood. And then, okay, I hope
We're going to ask you a couple of questions.
Because, okay, then and I would say that the next slides, and I can just sit down and you can just click on them, they will show that the justification for these circular driveways
Sir,
okay.
Wait, okay.
I think we just need to understand what the issue is. I mean, we have a lot of details here in a presentation, but we need to understand what the issue is.
Okay.
So let's boil it down to the main idea.
Yep,
What's
okay.
that?
Next slide, we'll just skip over 6 then, 5 or 6 then. Next, or can you click on the thumbnails? Okay, these are the examples that were used before. Next. So, next, keep going. So, the house that is being used as a justification for this is houses like Paisley Hall. These are the justifications that are being entered in, and they're being used, next slide, of why that homes need to have circular driveways. And if we go to just keep going, it's fine. We'll forget about the curb cuts, forget about the musical interlude, it's adorable. The issue is that you have the postings that are in their applications that differ from their Airbnb, okay? We had in the opposition that was filed, they added all that, but it wasn't made clear. I think by me being here and having it shown, it's clear that when you have 22 people in this chamber in rows 2 and 3, that is the amount of people that they're trying to have in this house, okay? This is,
Sir,
okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for the presenter?
I have a question for you, sir, if you don't mind. Actually, I have 2 questions. The first one is, you just made a point about the justification for the circular driveway being larger homes in the area. I was looking at, ironically, Google Earth, and there looks like there appears to be a circle drive on the house immediately next door.
That's right. I have a thing showing that the curb cuts will be on 311 and 39, it's gonna be curb cut, a little bit of space, curb cut, a little bit of space, curb cut, a little bit of space.
Okay, so back to Ms. Dahl's question, what is your concern about the circular drive on this particular
Just do
lot?
succinctly, what?
So,
Is it just the justification that you don't want them to have additional parking because it's an Airbnb?
I think
Which I'm
that,
sympathetic to be clear.
I don't think it's tied to the Airbnb. I just think that that by them saying that they need additional parking because they are hitting their house, it opens up the idea that any person that has a back house, a back ADU, that they can have a circular driveway and say that the people that are in my back unit can always park on the front because I have gotten permission that my short-term rental will park not in my courtyard area. That's different than how an apartment agreement is.
Okay,
And one more follow-up question. I also noted in the staff report that there appears to be a letter from the neighborhood association that I think supports the circular drive. So I'm curious about, I'm trying to find it, excuse me. This is from the Evergreen Historic Association. It says, our board is not typically in favor of the front yard circular driveways. We feel the nature of the traffic on McLean Boulevard is an overriding factor. Residents need to be able to safely enter and leave their lots. We feel that in cases such as this, that it is warranted. So I'm just curious about your perspective. Sounds like it's different.
and have
than
you talked to their representatives too?
Yeah, this was signed by Jeremy Williams, president of the association.
I don't speak on behalf of the Evergreen Historic District. I speak as a person that has close friends on the street, and I live in the Evergreen District on Watkins, which if you can see the similarity of fast streets, however on Watkins, like it's just expected. You deal with it. You back up, you coordinate with the people in your house to move cars in and out as necessary.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure.
And the applicant, sir, you can come up and you have time for rebuttal if you'd like to.
I mean, I'm just here representing Mr. Borden, so. I'm here representing Mr. Borden, the owner. Did you need anything in addition? Anything else from me? I do have a letter that I believe that you guys have the same letter, but I have a letter as well.
Do we have that do we have the letter? Okay.
From the owner?
So you have no personal comments?
Personally, no, I
Okay.
don't.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Sir, you have it, or I thought somebody said that they saw it it's not in the report?
I'm not sure if he's referring to the letter from the representative, like the letter of intent. It's in the application that would be clickable in the staff report.
Okay. So nothing, you don't need to speak on his behalf, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, I hear the letter from Borden's, Justin Borden. It's on page 19.
Since he really can't answer any questions particularly, if we ask you any, are you equipped to answer? You're not equipped to answer any kind of
Yeah,
questions,
sorry,
correct?
not
So I
qualified.
think we'll close
Okay.
close it so we can speak amongst ourselves. Do you have a question for him? Okay.
Where is Mr. Borden?
He lives in Houston.
In Houston, thank you.
Yes. He will be here, it says, for, I believe, a rehearing in August, it looks like. He said he would be here in person for that.
No, there was a request for a rehearing for the Board of Adjustment that was approved in June, and that request was denied yesterday. So there won't be a rehearing on the Board of Adjustment case. So.
Can you give us a summary of what's happened at Board of Adjustment, please?
Yes, so the Board of Adjustment approved the variance to allow the circular drive at the June meeting with the conditions that we had placed on it, which are similar to the conditions on the COA. And one of the requests was there was a parking pad that was jutted out, so that was denied. But we also placed restrictions on the short-term rental, and the applicant, Mr. Borden, requested a rehearing for the Board of Adjustment for those, but the Board of Adjustment denied that request for the rehearing yesterday. So that Board of Adjustment that was approved in June still stands with those conditions.
Thank you.
Okay, you can sit down if you
Thank
want.
you.
Do I have a motion, or does anybody else have any questions? Okay.
I have a motion to approve COA 2025-039.
You have a second? Second. Okay. Now what we do, just so y'all know, is you guys out there, is we talk amongst ourselves, and then if we have any questions, we'll ask you.
I was going to say, I'm very comfortable with the staff recommendations at this point. It's been heard by BOA. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. It seems like the BOA recommendations and the COA recommendations, like Brett said, align. But I guess if the BOA, one of the BOA conditions was that the main house is not like a short-term rental, does that mean the main house remains empty as long as nobody's, like, because I'm assuming it's just that back part, that's the Airbnb. So if the issue is having people or having cars in the drive, if there's nobody living there, then what are the chances of there being parking out front?
That's what I'm assuming the speaker that spoke in opposition was trying to point out, was that if there's supposed to be no short-term rental in the front house, there should be no significant need for additional parking space. He's shaking his head yes.
Can we assume the plan is to full-time rent the main house?
According to the conditions of the Board of Adjustment, they're not allowed to rent the front house.
At all, not even
As short term. And I will point out just a couple of things that, and this would be whether it was a condition or not, but of course they had to get a variance approved to even allow you to hear the request for a circular drive. So they approved that variance, but they also had the condition that it has to be approved by this body. So you can decide whether or not to approve the circular drive in itself. So that's one thing. And then the other is, yes, the short-term rental was limited to any rental less than 6 months would not be allowed. And as the opposition pointed out, there are multiple listings for the front house on the short-term rental websites right now. So, however, right now, that condition doesn't come into play unless and until he installs the circular drive, which would make that condition valid. So if he even if he got approval, decided not to do the circular drive, that condition would not apply to the property.
That's an interesting clarification.
Yeah.
I kind of go back to what Brown said. In my opinion, this is a landmarks issue is just the driveway itself. The other short-term rental issue is a code issue, and as you said, apparently is allowed at this moment, but could become a zoning issue and a code issue if the driveway is placed in place and that condition becomes effective, right?
That's correct. I will note that I do believe that there still needs to be permits for the short-term rental that have not been acquired at this point. So that is a separate issue, but when I say that it's not in violation at this point, it's not in violation of this condition until and if a circular drive was installed.
Right, that makes sense.
So,
And I was just going to add, in my opinion, based on the neighborhoods letter of support and the fact that there's a circular drive next door, I feel like the circular drive is justified, and kind of goes back to Brown's point. And I feel like if the applicant or the opposition's concern is the short-term rental, if the driveway is installed, then your recourse is code enforcement.
That's essentially what I was on. I mean, we cannot legislate what they do with the house. What's before us is the circular driveway, and that's it. So, I mean, what they do with it, that goes back to another body. So all we can legislate is the circular driveway in bounds, and that's all.
I agree.
And I think
agree.
it is.
Yeah, based on the letter from the neighborhood and the house next door, I don't see any reason, like, it makes sense that I'm in agreement with the approval of it. I'll say that.
I agree as well. If this were just somebody's house and we took all the rest of that out, which is not our business at this moment, it would be easy to approve because it is a busy street. It is hard for parking. It accommodates guest parking. It accommodates turning around, driving out forward, all of those things.
Okay.
We leave the psychographic profiling to y'all.
Okay, are we ready for the vote? Okay. We have a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Tolbert,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
Ms. Rainwater,
Yes.
Ms. Boyd, Mr. Winter,
Yes.
Vice Chair Doss,
Yes.
and Chair Tucker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Is that the only?
And that was our one and only case.